Hello everyone, my name is Oktay Avcı, and welcome to this week's presentation where we're going to be talking about Skinner's behaviorist theory. Uh, this is also a part of the 15 theories of education that we've mentioned throughout our past weeks. And this is just a very small part of it, which we're going to be talking about again, Skinner's behaviorist theory. So let's get the outline that we have for today. Well, the first outline that we have here is that, and we only have one outline. I don't know why I said first outline. The first thing that we're going to be talking about here is that we're going to be talking about the man himself, Burgess Frederick Skinner. I'm not so sure if I pronounced his name right, but we're just gonna call him Skinner. We're not gonna, say his whole name. We're gonna be looking at him, what he has done, what he's known for, what he does. We're going to be talking about that. And, after that, we're going to be talking about his, behaviorist theory, in which he mentions, operant conditioning and positive reinforcement. We're going to be looking at positive reinforcement a bit more than operant conditioning. But we should all be familiar with operant conditioning, us students, because in our psychology lessons, we have seen operant conditioning before. So yeah, let's just continue with the presentation itself. So who is Burgess Frederick Skinner is, or just Skinner is, uh, or was, because he passed away sadly. He was a behavioral psychologist and a social philosopher, uh, and he was also a professor of psychology at Harvard University. So, he was kind of a big deal, you can say that. He was known for developing behavior analysis and finding experimental, or let's say not finding, but, founding, not finding, but founding, he founded experimental analysis of behavior, and he just basically, based all of his works on, like behaviorism and its analysis. So, yeah, this is, or this was what he has done throughout his life, just working on behavioristic psychology. So, yeah, let's look at what he has worked on. So operant conditioning, we can summarize this operant conditioning in just one simple sentence, which is, we can see on the right here, behaviors that are followed by positive responses are likely to be repeated, and those that are followed by negative responses, not repeated. So basically, as you can see from the picture on the left here, so if the rat themselves or itself, sorry. So the rat itself does something positive, does a behavior that allows him to, eat some more food as a reward, is a positive behavior that's done by the rat, and it is being rewarded. So just because it is rewarded, if the rat keeps doing this, the rat will understand that if he keeps doing this, he's just going to get rewarded. So he would want to, repeat this behavior even more and more. But if the rat does something, unbehavioristic or not likable by the experimenter that we have here, he's gonna get punished just because of that. So if he keeps on doing this negative behavior and still keeps getting punished, at some point the rat will not do the negative behavior, and just because the rat doesn't want to get punished, he would just slowly and in time just gonna drop out the behavior. So again, just basically to recap, uh, if you done something positive, then you're gonna get rewarded. So you would want to do that behavior again. And if you do something bad, you're going to get punished. So in time, you are going to drop the bad thing that you have done. And this is just open conditioning. We learned this again, as I mentioned before. We learned this in our psychology lessons, psychology classes. So we should all be pretty familiar with this kind of topic we have here. So Skinner uses this in the classroom itself. So how does he apply that? Is he applies it as positive reinforcement, as we can see from here. As a classroom management like if you look at it at a classroom management perspective, positive reinforcement is a great way us for to, just build some relationships, build some student-teacher relationships. Uh, and it's an essential strategy for teaching students how to act and conduct themselves, as we've mentioned here. So yeah, positive reinforcement is a great way and a great tool for us to use in the classroom itself. So how can we use that? Is that positive reinforcement, and by that we actually mean like praising the student. It should be given for behaviors that are desirable. Like for example, let's say that a student answered one of your questions. So what you should do is that just because the student answered your question, you should praise them. You should, let them know that you're happy, and let them know that you are positive that they have responded to you. So again, you should kind of give this kind of praise, and you should give this kind of positive reinforcement uh, for like all kinds of answers that are given by the students themselves, regardless of whether they're correct or not. Because if you do this, this will just build a culture of answer questions, inside like on students themselves. So yeah, using positive reinforcement again builds up relationships and strengthens your bond and builds up a culture of answering questions, just we mentioned. So, after a while, uh, as a teacher, what you should do is that, you know, at the beginning, you should praise each and every student, but after some while, you should, consider reducing the positive reinforcement that you're giving to the students. Like, even though if a student answered your question wrong, at the beginning you should praise them for just answering, but after a while, if they answered your question wrong, don't uh, don't reinforce that behavior and don't praise them. After a while, you should praise the people who are giving the correct answers so that you can get the highest caliber of responses that you can get. So what can this do is that this can basically just create a desired excellence in students. So yeah, this was what I have wanted to talk about for today. Let me go back. Oh yeah, so like this was all it. This was how you can apply Skinner's behavioristic theory in classrooms. In classrooms themselves. Uh, just by using praises and by using positive reinforcement, you can apply Skinner's theory. And yeah, this was it for this week. So I hope I can see you in the next week. So see you later until then.